Morning. Welcome back, Waterview Farms. I'm Nathan, in case you forgot. Gonna keep working on our planter here this morning. We've got 4 more row units to wash up and get clean, put back together and on the planter. So we're gonna first do that this morning, and then we're gonna work on those chains. I think over here in the parts bin we've got a roll of new chain. I'm gonna go look for that right now. Let's see, we bought a roll of it last year for the other planter. Oh, right there. So this is the chain, same stuff that came on that planter. You can buy this stuff from John Deere. However, the replacement chain that John Deere uses or they sell at the dealerships is not the same stuff that comes on these planters originally, and the stuff that comes on them from the factory is really good stuff. It's got some coating on it that makes it the silver color, and they last a long time. So we bought a roll of it. I don't know, somewhere I found it on the internet last year. Looks like I've got plenty on there to replace the couple chains that are on this planter. So we'll do that after we get done washing those last 4 row units up. I need to go refill my buckets of water. All right, I've got those last row units washed, so we're done with that. Clean up my pails of water here, dump them out, and then we'll take some chains off. Okay, we are going to start with this chain right here, and I think that I can just loosen this tensioner, and as long as I can get it off of one of those other 2 sprockets, we should be able to take it off of there without too much trouble. Otherwise, we'll have to find the master link, which is down here, and take it apart, but we'll see if we can get it. All right, well, this chain's not long enough, even with no tension on it, for me to get it off of one of them sprockets. So either I take this cotter pin out and slide the whole sprocket off, or we just disconnect this master link. I'm gonna go that route because it's not that hard to do, so I need a little screwdriver. Okay, I think I've got the camera mounted somewhere where it's out of the way, and you guys can see what I'm doing. So this link here, see how it's hollow in the center there or whatever, it's actually split on one side, and if I get that screwdriver in there, I can pick it off and then rotate it and slide, and that piece comes off, and then this outside will come off. Maybe. There it goes. Okay, so there's that. Now this pushes out. Well, it's supposed to. It's tight, which is why we're replacing it, because when they get tight, they don't pivot and flex the way they're supposed to, and it can cause erratic movement in the chain, which is a bad deal when it's what controls your seed population and spacing and all the rest of it. Come on. There. All right, so we got that chain apart. Yeah, it's pretty stiff. Okay, let's go take a look at it. Okay, so we've got this chain on the bench, and what we want to see is that every link is able to move freely. None of them get kinked. Like, see how that one's kind of caught there? When it's setting like this, that chain should sit down level without any input from me, and it does not do that. They should all spin smoothly and evenly. See how it's kind of gets, they're just not even. I'll show you the new one. See how tall it gets there and then it falls? Same thing. We'll lay out the new one next to it and I'll show you the difference. All right, so I laid out the new chain next to the old one, and what we want here is to make sure that they are the same number of links. So I need to cut this new chain right here. The new one, or the old one, I mean, has actually stretched some. I had to move it that much just to get each link to match up. But I bet if we got all the dirt and rust and stuff out of it, it would actually have quite a bit of more stretch and play in it. So I'm going to get our chain brake, and we're going to break that chain right there. So this tool here is our chain brake, and basically what it does is it grabs on them little teeth in there. I don't know if you can see it real well, but it grabs onto the chain, and then there's a pin that you screw in with this, and it pushes the roller pin inside each in the chain link that you want to break out. Okay, so you actually push on both pins, which I've done, until it, or on 2 pins, I guess, until you get this side link off. And now I should be able to lift that right off there. I may have to grind a little bit on it because I may have peened over the top of that a little bit. But it's loose in there now, so that should come off. Again, much easier with 2 hands. All right, I got it apart. So it was actually easier just to put the brake on and push the pins out. Should have thought of that before, but anyway. So now I have these 2 chains, one new, one old. They are the same number of links. Watch this. So you remember what happens when we do this with the old one, right? Yeah. Watch the new one. See how they move so much freer? Each link moves just fine. They all sit right back down. This one's a different story. Doesn't flex near as much. So that's why we're replacing it. I don't know if you'll be able to see it this way or not, but another good thing to do sometimes is to see how much side arc is in them. But I think this is so full of dirt and rust and stuff that it doesn't move and stretch like you would normally see in a worn out chain, but definitely not good. We're going to replace that. I'm not going to worry about cleaning it up because it doesn't matter. So we're going to go put this new one on. We've got a new master link right here, and we'll go put it back on there the same way we took it off. All right, I have got new chain. I'm going to go around this front sprocket first. Let's see, where do I want the master link to be? I think it might actually be easier on the sprocket. We got to go underneath the tensioner arm. Ouch. Right like that. Now, if this will fit. Should. Oh. Gotta take the other half off first. That would be a dumb thing to do. All right. So that's in. Now we put this piece back on. Gotta go on straight. Okay. And then our clip. Now, let's see. I know there's something with rotation as to which way this needs to go. And that's going to rotate this way. I believe you want, somebody's going to correct me if I'm wrong here, right? But I believe you want the open end of your clip trailing. So I'm going to put it on trailing. And my screwdriver. Okay. I don't think it matters a whole lot, but I know there is a specific way that that clip is supposed to go on. So that chain's on. Last thing I'm going to do is get a can of spray lube and lube it up. So when I was up at the John Deere dealer the other day, they had this can of synthetic dry film lubricant. And I thought I'm going to try this on these, especially these new chains, because there's not really dirt and rust and stuff in there that I need to dissolve and get rid of. And one of the problems we get when we lube these chains up and stuff is that they run in the dust in the open, and that lubricant tends to attract dust. And then it sticks to the chains, and it can cause stuff to wear and seize up like that other one did. So I thought, we'll try this dry stuff. It's supposed to not attract dust. It says so right there. Protective coating that will not attract dust. So we're going to give this a shot and see how it works. Alright, well, it's on there. So we'll try that and call that one good. So I got 3 more that are for seed drive, and then a couple of fertilizer chains that we need to replace yet. Same process over again. I'm not going to show you again, so but that's what we're doing. I've got the rest of those chains that do the seed drive, hex shaft drive, replaced. And when I went to take the one off the fertilizer pulleys over here, look what I found. This one looks fine, but look at the teeth on that sprocket. Holy Warren. That's not going to work. So we're going to have to replace that. I got to figure out how this comes off. These two are welded together, so it's clearly one unit. There are some set screws there, and it's a keyed shaft, but we're probably going to have to put a puller on it and see what we can do. But that's got to get replaced. The chain, surprisingly enough, was actually in much better shape as far as not being dirty and rusty and full of crap. Look how easy this one turns compared to what them other old ones were. But look at this, right? So remember when I was trying to show you how they can turn sideways? See how much of a smile and an arc we get on that one versus this new one that I can't get hardly any. That's all wear in each of them pins and rollers. And if I put one end of that chain, put them side by side, and then I pull on this end, you can see that with this end together, it's basically an extra link, or a half link anyway, of wear. There's quite a bit of slop in that one, where this one here doesn't have any. So that's why we're replacing them anyway. Even though that one seems to move okay, it's still got quite a bit of wear to it. When you can make almost a half circle out of a chain, you know it's worn out. So anyway, I gotta get that sprocket off, and I'll go look up the part number to see what exactly we got to get ordered and get one of them coming to the John Deere dealer. So we can replace that. It is just about lunchtime, so I'm going to take off here and go eat lunch, and we'll come back this afternoon and work on some more stuff. Well, I'm back from lunch. I've been working on trying to get this sprocket off of this pump, and I'm having quite a bit of trouble. There were some set screws down one in there, and I don't know if there was actually a set screw in that hole or not. I put an Allen wrench in there and tried to turn it and thought I got something broke loose, but I couldn't get it to screw out. It kept spinning, and I tried to drill it, and I'm pretty sure there's nothing there, and I was drilling into the keyway, and so I got this puller on there, and there's quite a bit of tension on it at the moment, and it has not budged. I'm pretty hesitant to heat it because it's pump and there's seals, and I don't want to melt them. So I'm not real sure what to do. I'm going to let it set for a few minutes with some blaster penetrating oil on it and see if it doesn't break it loose, but this might be a problem. I don't know. Check it out. I'm pretty proud of myself. I got it off. I ended up taking a grinder or a cutoff wheel and cutting the little sprocket off of the outside. And I don't know if that actually did anything or not, but I did that and I put that puller back on, and it did take quite a bit of pressure, but eventually it started to move and I got it off. So the shaft doesn't really look like it's in too bad a shape. I am, however, concerned about this. It moves quite a bit. Now everything still works. I was able to turn it and I got a little bit of fertilizer to come out of the one row over there. And it's not leaking any oil. So this part here is essentially just a gearbox. And there's a shaft that comes out here and runs this pump. And this is the part that actually is putting fertilizer out. So as long as it's not leaking and it still works, I don't think there's any problem in there, and I don't really see any reason to take this apart any further. I do need to probably check the oil level to make sure that it's got plenty of oil in it, but outside of that, we should be able to just get a new sprocket, a new key, and a couple of new set screws, and we'll be good to go. So you can see where I ground that one off the outside. This is kind of a unique sprocket with the shafts and the way that it works, because on this side it's all one piece, well, I mean with the sprocket welded on there, but on this side there was like 3 different layers, because you got the sprocket and the shaft inside of it, and then there was the other sprocket in the inner part. So I don't know. Whatever, it is what it is. Deere's got them. They're $175, which seems pricey, but for what it is, I guess it's fine. I've never replaced it before. I'll probably never replace it again, so we'll buy our one and put it on there and we'll be good to go. All right, guys. I was cleaning up some of my tools in the bench here a little bit, just getting stuff cleaned up. It is Friday afternoon, so I'm about ready to quit for the week and wanted to have stuff picked up a little bit. Next week, we've got to get these gauge wheels back on. They obviously need washed, so we'll probably do that first thing Monday, and then get those put back on. Oh wait, probably not Monday. So Monday I've got my boys, so I don't know if there'll be a video come out Tuesday or not. But anyway, when I do get back here, we're going to get this sprocket and get that put back together. Another thing that I need to do to this planter, sorry, I got interrupted there. Anyway, another thing that I need to do to this planter is to flush the fertilizer system out. So I'm a little embarrassed to admit it, but I neglected to clean and flush and winterize the fertilizer system real well. So it still has starter in it from last year. And I don't know if you guys can see it, but if you look real close, see them little blue balls in there? See all that white stuff setting on them? Yeah, my fertilizer has settled out a little bit over the winter, so that's gonna be a problem. We're gonna have to flush that out, but I don't wanna do it in here, because then the fertilizer will go straight down my floor drain, which is a big no-no. And I don't really want to put water in it and flush stuff out outside, because then I got to worry about it freezing. So I'm going to wait until we get closer to spring to do that, let stuff warm up. When we hook this planter back up to actually get ready to go to the field, we'll worry about cleaning up that fertilizer system and doing all that. So what else? Oh yeah, today is Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day to my beautiful wife, and to the rest of you as well. Tomorrow, Saturday, is my youngest son Brayson's birthday party. His birthday is on Sunday, so happy birthday, Brayson. Them boys love watching my videos, so I'm sure he'll see this eventually. And for the rest of you guys, have a great weekend. Like I said, I've got my boys on Monday. I don't know if I'll be able to put together a video or not, so maybe Tuesday, probably Wednesday next week before the next video comes out. Have a great weekend. I will see you guys next week. Hit the like and subscribe buttons if you haven't already for me, please, and be sure and leave me some comments below. We'll talk to you guys later. Have a great weekend.